The increase in interest rates have historically caused property prices to drop, and this is a concern for many of you out there who want to purchase a property right now. What if I tell you that this does not apply to all kinds of property and there is actually a way to safeguard your purchase? Hello everyone, I'm Vivian and welcome back to my channel. In today's market where prices are at an all-time high, many buyers are chasing after sellers' prices, which is what we have seen back in 2012. In actual fact, many sellers who have purchased back then, which was the last market high, have waited for the past 10 years so that they can leverage on today's bullish market to break even. On top of that, the multiple increments in interest rates this year will mean you will have to pay more to be stuck. To find out how interest rates will affect prices, I'm going to break down how this is going to affect you if you are going to buy a resale condominium or a new launch property. First, I'll be using 3 scenarios based on property price of 1.5 million with a loan-to-value ratio of 75%, 30 years tenure based on 1.5%, 2.5% and 3.5% interest rate. First, for a resale property of $1.5 million, the interest based on 1.5% is $1,350. Should the interest rate increase to 2.5%, the interest will now be $2,265. Now, if we calculate based on 3.5%, we now have to pay $3,188 for borrowing the same amount. On average, for every 1% increment in interest, we have to top up around $900. Next, I'll be using the same 3 scenarios for a new launch property of $1.5 million. Unlike resale properties where full installment kicks in upon completion, buildings under construction follow the progressive payment schedule, which depends on the progress of the construction and are categorized under 8 main stages. So now I'll be using a table to illustrate further. Based on stage 1, once foundation work has been done, 10% of the purchase price will be called. The interest per month based on 1.5% is $94, 2.5% is $156, and 3.5% is $218. This means that for every 1% increase, the interest will increase by $62. Once stage 2 is completed, the interest per month based on 1.5% is $281, 2.1% is $469, and 3.5% is $656. So for every 1%, the increase is $188. Likewise, for the remaining stages, for every 1% increase in interest, you can see that there is only a slight increase in interest for every stage. The full installments will only kick in during CSC, which is around 1 year after TOP. But that's also the time you as an owner can choose to sell your property should you fulfill the 3 years holding period to avoid the seller's stamp duty. Therefore, we can safely conclude that with an increase in interest rate, it will not affect the new launch market in a dramatic way because of the progressive payment schedule. To further explain what I actually mean, we really have to go back to 2012 and 2013, which is the last market peak, to understand what will happen to the different types of property once there is a market downturn. Let's take reference from a resale and new launch development which are located beside each other. Here we have Quartz, which TOP in 2009, making it a 3-year-old condominium back then. Next to it is Jewel at Buangkok, which was a new launch product back in 2013. We can see that the prices of Quartz was increasing all the way since its launch, especially in the bullish market. Many buyers back then would have chosen this development over Jewel and Buangkok as it can fulfill their needs of immediate stay. When the property market started to cool down, we can see that prices of Quartz experienced a sharper downturn, while resale buyers who purchased during the peak will be suffering losses should they want to sell during this time. The first-hand owners would still be okay with taking the hit as they were sitting on a higher profit margin and do not mind earning lesser. Jewel at Buangkok, on the other hand, although was considered a new launch development which performed poorly, it still managed to hold its prices despite a downturn market. This is because majority of the owners entered at a similar price tag and no one was willing to sell lower than what they purchased for. Therefore, my advice for you if you are looking to purchase today is to look at how to spot properties that are able to hold its price despite a downturn or upturn market. As for sellers, you do really need to check into how the performance of your property is And if yours is finally recovering back to its last peak in 2013, do leverage on today's bullish market to swap for better performing ones. Alright, that's all for today. Do reach out to me if you require any property advice through my contact number below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.